because we had Pātiki on the property, I thought I would create habitat for the Pātiki, and in the process of that I thought I could create habitat for other birds, provide the food for the other birds. So along with doing pest control, I planted trees that provided fast food, I call it, where there were flowers, berries, leaves that happened within 5 years. As the birds have come in to feed from the planting, they have brought the seeds, and the regeneration is happening as a natural course now. Because I used to plant kawa, and the rabbits would say, "Oh, lovely kawa." They don't touch them anywhere else, but when I planted them they did. Now there are hundreds of them coming up and the rabbits just leave them alone. I do this because I absolutely love our native birds. I just admire them so much. So what I do is try and provide them a place that's safe from predators and where the food is, and that they will think, "Oh, I quite like this, I'll live here." You know, that's my idea. And even though I might keep going in and planting some things, it's happening by itself, and that's just so exciting. I think if anyone approached me that was keen, I would say plant a few trees and see what happens. You don't have to wait long. You might have to wait 2 years, but the birds will come because you're planting the right food.
It's one seed, you know, you've taken one seed and put it in a seed tray, and then you've taken it from there into PB 3/4, and then taken it to PB 2, and then it's grown into a big tree, and it doesn't take forever. It's so easy to see, you know. People think native bush takes forever, but no way. It grows as quick as anything if it's in the right place. I guess with any reforestation project, first of all we need the seed source, and with that we need the predator control, and then we've got a forest happening. Probably doesn't need a lot of input from now on. Maybe releasing a few trees and that'll be it. I think it'll take care of itself. You can sort of smell that presence of clean air. It definitely is different. It's a hard thing to explain. I mean, I get it. It gets right into me when I walk amongst plants like this. Yeah, so the kaka and pigeons, or any of the birds, are actually helping by spreading the seed around, and this is where we need to have the predator control happening, because that seed will lay on the ground and be eaten by rats or mice and won't get a chance to germinate on its own. So you want to get to a stage like this, and then you want to protect it so it will carry on looking after itself.
About 2000, the girls, our daughters bought this land, and they had the vision that they wanted to re-veg the streams and create a corridor from the park, Okiwi Park, to the conservation land behind. So Mike and I did the work.
According to written instructions.
Well, we feel we're leaving a bit of a legacy too, really.
Oh, for not just for our family, but just for the place.
The general area.
I think, well, if you've got a bit of land, you can sort of help to bring it back. It's funny, you sort of try to remember what it was like before. It was just open grass. The native bush is either, when you plant part of it, or it self-restores, you know, like self-seeds. It's just exciting when it sort of starts to change.
We created the pond particularly for the ducks, the brown teal ducks, which are very much endangered and have a last stronghold here. But we realise now that having made all this beautiful planting stuff, we need to now concentrate on predators.
I saw a fight going on in the vegetable garden between a young rail and a rat, and it could only be one outcome. So we decided to do something about it. And then I get toilet rolls and people have been stuffing them in my letterbox, which must take them ages. We stuff those full of diphosphine and wax them, and then take them out in the bush, and the rats seem to love it. We don't promote having toxins out at all times. This is a run. It gets gobbled up, and then we pull the gear. And then we run the gear again a few months later to see if there's anything left, and usually that gear is not touched. So it means they're either onto it or they're all dead. And we prefer the later option. We're not looking for a boom and bust situation with the rats where they build up and then we bust them again, because they'll just eat your birds. So we're looking at a maintenance schedule. Because you can kill 1 billion rats and 2 pārtaki and it's over. You know, you've failed. When you hop over the other side and go into what I would call virgin biomass, it's not ratted or there's no control on it of any sort, it's dead. Just notice this year, this is after 3 years of doing rats, that the regrowth this year is quite spectacular, and you're now pushing it out of the way.
When we found this property on Great Barrier, we were won over by the wonderful views of Rakatu Island, the sea, and a lot of regenerating bush. It's become quite addictive as we've seen seedlings growing more and more every year, more birds arriving on the property. Still not as good as we'd like, but we're working on it. Over the summer months we just do trapping, and the whole family's got involved in it, and hopefully the young ones will take over when we find it too difficult. We've been very fortunate to have Stu do most of our tracks, and we've discovered some really mature kauri, and we hope that it's just going to spread across the island, and other people will, already there are a number of people who are doing rodent control, but it'd be wonderful one day if the whole island was rodent free. Auckland Council and DOC's Partnership Fund can really be of great assistance financially to help anyone who's interested in putting some money but a lot of labour into the project.
When I come into the forest, I just love the peace and tranquility, you know, and knowing that the trees that I'm working next to, some of them 200, 300, 400 years old, maybe older, and it's great. Since we've been putting the tracks in, I've noticed a lot more seedlings after the initial trapping we've been doing. Still not a lot of birds, but they'll come. Well, we've started off minimal trapping. Now we're up to, I think, 150 odd stations. Don't see a lot of rats. Initially I used to see a lot of rats when I was digging the tracks. And my dog Patch, he's the #1 rabbit and rat killer, and he's getting less and less rats. So there's definitely the numbers have dropped quite a lot. I'd say in 10 years from now, the aviary will be maybe 50% full, and it'll be paradise, you know, coming back, and that's what it's all about.